Hello, everybody. How you doing, or anybody? I don't know. Yo, nigga, roll, yo, nigga, roll. Yodelay, yodelay. Okay. Anyways, hi, everybody. I started a little bit earlier than I was going to. I had it scheduled to start at 10 o'clock, but I said fuck it, I'm gonna go early because I don't really know how long I'm going tonight, but it doesn't matter because I'm here now. I know that the peasants are probably still going, and most of the people are over there. Fuck, but that's all right. Tasty, tasty beverage. So what's up, Negroes? Well, not really nobody's watching yet, so oh well. It has begun. It has begun. And began and began and began. It began some years ago. Began. Yeah, no viewers yet. One viewer. Okay, one viewer. Okay. One viewer. One little viewer. Very nice. Very nice one viewer. Let me click on this motherfucker. And there we go. So yeah, anybody out there? No, you're not doing that now. So, really? Okay. There's two people watching now. My head is my head. So yeah, it's early. I mean, well, it ain't early, but the show VP's still on, so nobody's really here yet. But oh well. I'm just chilling like a villain. Like an onion peeling, like a serial killer killing. I don't know nothing else. Like a thief be stealing. I can't come up with no more rhymes for that shit. So I did do a vidya today. I did a vidya, Pimpisha video to Anision. That happened. So on my main channel, Pimp Monkey X, if you want to check it out. Quite a fun little video. It's a fun video. I had fun doing it. I always have fun doing the Pimpisha shit. I really, I really enjoy creating characters because you can do a lot with a character. Um, you can you can try things that like Pimp Monk's basically a character, of course, right? It's what Pimp Monk is John Crawley turned up 10,000 notches. Um, so I do things with Pimp Monk, and it's established, what the way I am. So with Pimpisha, I can do newer stuff. I can do stuff that I can't normally say or do because it wouldn't fit me. But it fits the character of Pimpisha. I can be more creative. I like being creative. Even though most of the movies, even with the Pimpisha stuff, it's very improv. I get a bullet point of what I want to do, and then I just get on there and do it. I don't ever write scripts. Maybe I should. Maybe it'd be better. God damn, I started yawning. I need to get awake. I need to get awake. Ain't nobody fucking watching though, man. Nobody's fucking watching. Nobody's watching. And I'm all alone. Maybe I'll share it on my microphone. I don't know what that meant. So now it's been shared a couple times. Anyways, 2 people watching. I don't even know who's watching, motherfuckers. 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 Well, she looks alright. I may have to do her in her vagina one day. If she would allow it. I wonder if she would allow me to do her vagina. I like that. Ooh. Yeah. She's a dick tease. Nice tits, though. But anyways. I said anyway. Anyways. Yeah, so I'm just sitting here chilling. I was gonna go on at 10, but I was sitting here and I was like, fuck, I don't wanna wait another 30 minutes. So I went live. This will definitely not be an all night stream because I don't feel like an all night stream, but I'll go a little while though, a couple hours, talk some shit to you people. We're gonna laugh at the world because the world needs to be laughed at. Look, I know there's a lot of serious shit going on, but if you can't laugh at it, if you can't take a moment just to say, "Wow, we're fucked up," and just giggle at how fucked up we really are, then you're taking it way too serious because you only got one life. And I know people gonna say, "Well, you're supposed to take all this shit serious," and you are, but you also need a moment where you can just look at it and say, "We are really fucked up as a people. We have no goddamn sense," and just laugh at ourselves. Anyways, yes, we need to do that more. Look how red my fucking eyes are. The whites of my eyes are not even white anymore. That's how high I am right now. I'm really not that high. But my eyes are fucking red. I don't know why they're so red. They're like bloodshot, dog. Bloodshot eyeballs. And I keep fucking yawning too. I don't know why. Maybe I need another swallow of Coke Zero. Somebody's a fucking dog. I'm gonna sit here and just talk by myself for a while, I guess. To people who come in here that want to fucking talk. I need some chatter. interaction with you niggers. Need some interaction or I'm going to end it. End it real soon. But I did do a video today. Yeah, she's pretty nice looking. I had a dude send me a picture of his girlfriend the other day. He was like, "Look at my girlfriend." And I'm okay. I look at his girlfriend. I said well, she's nice looking. And then I hear nothing else from the dude. Sends me a picture of his girlfriend, tells me to look at her, and then doesn't respond back after I look at her. I don't. People are strange. People are fucking weird. I also got a message just today, where somebody said, "Man, I looked at, I seen a video that you posted on Facebook, I guess, and they went over to my channel, looked at it, and they noticed that they were unsubbed." I'm getting this all the time now, all the time. Every day I get a message from somebody saying they were unsubbed from my channel. So what can you do? I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. You just sit back and say, fuck it. I was really frustrated for a while about this whole YouTube deal. I really was. I was pissed off at it. And, but nothing you can do. Nothing you can do to turn me away from my guy. My guy. But no, there's nothing you can do. So you might as well laugh at it and say, fuck it in its rear because, me sitting here complaining and whining and moaning is not going to fucking do it. It's not going to change the fact that YouTubers, you're losing subs left and right and views and all that shit. But in these days, you got to put a known name in your fucking title to get a view. And I don't want to do that every time. Now I did it today because it made sense. The character of Pimp. See, that's what I'm going to use Pimpisha for from now on. Is to basically go after people that I don't like. Where they can't stab me because it was Pimpisha. It wasn't me. It wasn't me, dog. It was Pimpisha. But I do believe that was a very funny video I did today. Had a couple of jokes and punches in there that was pretty funny. Yo, what's up? What is happening? Japanese. New notification. CJ Calvert followed me. Well, CJ is a girl or a lesbian. CJ's a lesbian. Hey, good for CJ. I mean, I guess she's a lesbian girl. I don't know if she wants to be. I don't know if she's I guess CJ would be a trans boy because let's see. Fuck, I don't know. I don't want to be politically incorrect here, but thank you for following me, CJ. Ingram said butts. Red Eye said devil. Pimp Monk says Coca-Cola Zero. It's a very nice beverage. What's up, Larry? Laurie? Yeah, I'm just chilling. I was supposed to go on at 10 o'clock my time, which is like 20 something minutes from now. Or well, actually 16 minutes from now. But I said, fuck it. I don't know. If it's so nice, why are you turning it into piss? Oh, okay, I get what you're saying. Because that is the game of life, brother. That's the game of life. All beverages eventually become piss. Like this shot of whiskey. Yep. Woo, nigga. Woo, nigga. That went down the wrong pipe. It did. Went down the wrong pipe. Yeah, one of the emergency pisses a minute ago. I hear you, but I had that today. I went to the store with my mother. I had to pick up just a little something. On the way back, son, all of a sudden the piss hit me. I almost not made it back in the house. Oh my, is drunkenness happening tonight? No, it was just one shot. It's actually for my throat. The whiskey helps my throat a little bit. It'll be the only shot I take tonight, most likely. I really shouldn't be drinking because I'm on medication right now. So, but anyways. Oh, hey, by the way, they're going to burn the last vein in my leg closed in a few months, so I lose all that time. Damn. Fuck that. I'm gonna have to blow my goddamn nose. So I'm gonna have to go off camera for just a moment. Because I don't want y'all seeing this shit. This shit's nasty. Oh my god. Sexy. Gotta get all that stuff out of my fucking head though. I mean, I'm feeling a lot better as far as the crud wise, but still very stopped up. Shut up, Ingram, you stupid motherfucker. Ingram's a stupid motherfucker. He is. He's cool, but he's a stupid motherfucker. So, what was that thing? Oh, I was actually looking at something today, Ingram. You'll be excited about this. You know, in March, I'm going to Austin, right? I'm going to Austin. So, let me think. Maybe April, at the beginning of April, maybe the beginning of March, but probably not March. The beginning of April, I may come to Jackson. May do it. May go to Jackson for a couple of days. I can actually get a very nice hotel in Jackson for pretty cheap. I was looking at it today. I can actually stay at the Hilton? Yeah, for pretty cheap. Maybe now. I don't know for fact if I'm doing it because I do know that March I'm going to Austin. I'm not paying for that. Luckily, Gafford's going to be paying for that trip. So, because some people stuck me on my hotel room in Charlotte, and I'm having to pay the majority of the hotel room now, like $225, because Schroeder backed out, and you can't do it. But I did tell you if you could grab a bus, and I meant that since I'm going to have to pay it anyway, if you can get a bus ticket, and I looked at some bus tickets today from Jackson to Charlotte. We won't be able to get on the same bus, but I think we can get on the same bus on the way back, all the way to Birmingham. So, yeah. Yeah, I can't stay with Ingram. He lives with his folks, and that's understandable. Now, see, if somebody came here, my mom would just put you up. But cold chill down my spine. But yeah, so I did tell Ingram if he wanted to catch, but like I said, Ingram, if you look, I looked at the buses from Jackson. I don't think there's several, but you got several going out, right? Several buses heading that way, different times. But on the way back, I think we can catch the same bus like we did in Nashville that time. We didn't get the same bus there, but we got the same bus back all the way to Birmingham. Same deal here. I think so. So I hope Ingram gets to go. I do hope Ingram goes because I really enjoy hanging out with Ingram. I've done it, 3 times now? 3 times? Yeah, 3 times. And Ingram is a very cool person. He's like a little brother, basically. Honestly, I look at Ingram kind of like a little brother because, yeah. Just take that house over here, a pimp. After all, pimps don't take nothing. I hear you. Yeah, it's 3 times. He's a cool dude. He's fun to hang out with. Well, I need somebody there to torture. And Gage is too innocent to torture. Now, Raisin Girl, I'm going to torture her and I'm going to torture Tranny. But Gage is just too innocent. He's like a little puppy. Gage is like a little puppy. You hold the little puppy and you pet it. Yeah, he's fun. I ain't going to kick it with him, though. Because, see, around here, when you say, I'm going to kick it with you, means you're going over to fuck somebody. That's what I mean around here, in this area. Now, I know it means, yeah, but I'm just saying, I'm not fucking the boy. I may fuck the boy. I don't know. It depends on what kind of mood I'm in. If I'm in a boy rape kind of mood or whatever. So, yeah. But, when I say let's kick it, I mean let's fuck. So, I don't ever use the word kick it hanging out with well, see, Netflix and chill is a new term. I'm old. I don't say Netflix and chill. I say let's kick it. Or I also say let's fuck. You got butt herpes, that sucks. Butt herpes are never good. It's never good to have. Lady boner dead. The lady boner is dead. Alright, tonight's gotta be a better night. I ain't had no good clock payments in the last couple nights. And this sucks big, juicy, green, funky balls. Like stank balls. That's what it sucks. It sucks stank balls. And I don't like it when it sucks stank balls. I like it when it sucks very fresh, clean, smell good balls. You know what I'm saying? I like to smell good balls, not the stank balls. Luna know what I'm talking about. Luna, you've been in there sucking a dick and have some nice clean balls, and then get down there sucking dick and you got some stank balls. You don't want the stank balls. So we don't want the stank balls for the clock. Yeah, Irish Spring balls. We want those. The clock wants Irish Spring balls, not stank balls. So pay the motherfucking clock, you motherfuckers. Yeah, you know stuff. And I've had stank balls, honestly. Like I go a little wild out, shower and be outside working and doing something sweaty, dripping off my nut sack, and just it retains funk. Your nut sack is all up in your underwear. Don't have no breathing room, and they just get stanky, and it's not good. And that's what the clock, because y'all have made the clock suck the last few days. You've gave the clock stank balls. We don't need that. We need fresh, nice, straight out the shower nuts. Yeah, you gotta keep the motherfuckers squeaky clean. You know, you gotta have a fresh scent down there. You know, if you have to, take one of those car, pine tree deodorant things that hangs from a mirror. Take it, stick it down in your nutsack. Get a little pine smell around your balls. Yeah, your balls do get swampy. A lot of people don't know what swamp nut is, but there is a thing because your nuts sweat and you got underwear there, right? And it's just holding the fucking juices in. Just holding the damn juices. So you get this swamp thing going on down there. You get these swamp nuts. And swamp nuts are fucking disgusting. They're just fucking rank. It's just rank as fuck. So, like I've been on a bus, right? A fucking Greyhound for like 3 days. I go into as soon as we stop, I go into a bathroom, get me some fucking rags, or I carry a bath rag with me. Get some soap on that motherfucker, wet it down, scrub my balls in the bathroom. I scrub my nutsack in the bathroom, then dry them off, because I don't want no swamp testicles. Because you can't take a fucking shower because you're in a bus, right? So you go in there and you wash the fuck down. You take extra care of your nuts. And also, you don't want to wear jeans. If you're going on a long fucking trip, bus ride, don't wear fucking jeans. Because jeans are tighter, right? And they keep in them underwear all up in your balls, and your balls are dripping fucking sweat. And it's just nasty. Wear some loose ass like joggers or track pants. I recommend track pants. It keeps your nuts fresh. You let them breathe, goddammit. The nuts have to get air. I shower every day, but you can't shower on a fucking bus. And I take a lot of bus trips. Baby wipes are actually fucking excellent. That is actually, I took some with me on what trip did I take them on with me? LA. Well, Anaheim, when I went to Anaheim for VidCon, I had baby wipes. A lot of the trips I've been forgetting the baby wipes, so I just take a fucking rag. Or get some paper towels up in the bathroom, clean them joints. But you gotta clean your joints, right? So, but anyways, we're getting off the fucking point. I went on a tangent about dirty nuts. Y'all been giving the clock dirty nuts the last few days. We need to see some fresh nuts. We need to see clock payments on the motherfucking table. Need to see them. Oh, yeah, you're right, Aaron. Socks and underwear. That's all underwear does. Underwear locks in the fucking stank. It locks in the smell and all the juices and, the little pee drippings when you got to really piss, And sometimes a man can't help it. He got to piss, little pee drippings come out of his dick. So they be soaking in the damn juices also. So there's piss and sweat and, whatever down there. Just gathering in the fucking bank that you call underwear, this fucking safe, just holding the damn juices there. And it's fucking nasty. Yeah, pee drippings. You get pee drippings. It happens. So I'm telling you, I'm educating you motherfuckers on stank nut. Stank nut's a bad thing. I'm still not seeing no fuck clock papers. Thank you. You're welcome. That's right. Swamp crotch equals stank nut. Guarantee you, if you got some swampy crotch, you got some stinking nut. So, there you go. So pay the fucking clock. Quit giving my clock stank nut. By the way, Pimp Isha did a video today about Onision, Onion Boy. And I thought it was a pretty fucking funny video I did. I thought it was quite goddamn hilarious. My favorite part of the video is when I was talking about the pacifier. And I went, that I actually got tickled, but y'all don't see that part in the video. But I actually got tickled. I had to redo that part. Yeah, it was good. It was good. It was good. I love doing the characters, man, because I can go places that I don't feel comfortable going with Pimp Monk, right? I can do a little, because, it don't fit, the character of Pimp Monk. Because Pimp Monk is a character. I mean, it is John Crawley turned up a notch, but it's also a character. So, I can do things with Pimp Isha that I can't do in my regular videos. And I've got another character that I'm going to be unveiling as soon as another wig gets in. So there's going to be another character that I'm going to unveil that I think is going to be pretty funny as well. I suggest everybody tweet that video to him. I'm serious. Tweet it to Onision. Get his ass on it because, he likes to respond to people when they do videos about him. I want him to respond. I do. Because most of the people that watch Onision hate Onision. Right? So if they see Onision up there bitching about me, they're going to come over and sub to me. So it works in my favor if he bitches about me. Now we know where he's going to go. He's going to call me fat and talk about my health and, whatever. If he does respond. Fuck, who cares? Yeah, I want everybody to tweet that motherfucker the video. thought it was funny as fuck. I did. See, Pimp Isha, I don't know if you've noticed this lately, is the perfect character to use for Ponage videos. Perfect character for Ponage videos. I love using Pimp Isha for Ponage. And that's pretty much what Pimp Isha's place is. You know how, what's his name's got Content Cop or whatever? I can't think of his name now. No offense. iDubbbz. Well, I got Pimp Isha to go after people. So, that's how I roll. Your wall. Yes. Is Raisin Girl in here? Because I don't. She needs to know that I'm fucking making a video. Laughing at the girl. Motherfucker. Nice new chick in your life. Not 13, but still, congratulations. I love that shit. Why can't I retweet that? It won't let me retweet that. Huh. It won't let me retweet that. Well, fuck, good up. The chloroform is going to wake up with your hands on, feet zip tied, the Pimp Isha wig on your head, and Onishi over your neck with a bottle of baby oil. I hear you, buddy. That is weird, dude. It won't let me retweet it. Very strange. The retweet button is like disabled or something. What the fuck? And okay, I can retweet Liz. I just retweeted Liz. I can't retweet Larry. Why is that? Strange as fuck. Oh, you did it too, Luna? Let me see. Let me see. I don't see Luna. The fuck, dude? Oh. I don't see Luna's tweet. Sometimes Twitter is weird too at times. They don't show me all the shit that's happening. So the stream goal tonight, what is the stream goal? The stream goal is $62.20. Yeah, I probably won't make that, but yeah. $62.20. That's the stream goal tonight. Hello, everybody. Everybody. Hello, Raisin Girl. By the way, Raisin Girl, sometime in the near future, I want to do a private stream with you, Tranny, and Gage. And if Ingram says he's going to go, Ingram is watching. I know he's watching. If he decides to go, I think he's going to let us know Friday if he's going. I want to do a stream, a private stream, not a live thing, but an offline stream with you guys, because it's better to discuss it with voices, because I get more out of it doing that, and I want to discuss the trip with you guys. And yeah, so cool. Because I know that you guys are like leaving at midnight, right, from where you're at. So it takes 3 hours to get from there to Charlotte. Y'all, if I arrive at 4:30 in the morning, around 4:30ish. So yeah. But we need to talk about that stuff, like where we're going. Like, am I going to meet you guys at the hotel? Are you going to pick me up at the bus station? it doesn't. There's several things that we got to get straight, and like what night we want to do this, and what night we want to do that, and stuff like that. Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe you should leave around 1 then. That way you'll be arriving around the same time I'm arriving. And I've got it set up where I can check in the hotel early. He's supposed to get at 3, but I usually like when I know I'm arriving early, I can pick you up as long as T is in town in time for us to leave. Yeah, whatever. I mean, even if you can't, I can catch an Uber. But if you want to, if you are there that early, we could probably go catch some breakfast and go to the hotel or something. Even though I'm watching what I eat, I can't eat like eggs and sausage. No bread, and then I can eat breakfast. I can eat an omelet. Yeah, that would have been so awesome, Luna. But at least you get to hang out with me in Austin, though. You get to hang out with me in Austin. Are you planning on staying a couple of nights? You got a boyfriend? I don't even know. I think you got a boyfriend now, right? If you want to bring your man or whatever, that's more than cool. More than cool. We're staying in 2 different rooms, me and Gafford is. So if you got a man, you and your man can chill in my room or whatever. I don't give a shit. Or if you're coming by yourself, you can chill in my room. I ain't gonna fucking rape you. Well, I can't promise that. I can't promise that. I may rape you. But whatever you feel comfortable with. But yeah, so we need to talk to you about that too. Actually, I do need to get with you, Luna, and talk to you about like if you're coming out to Austin. Because I know Sporkimus is coming out to Austin. And that's going to be cool. Nick says, this is my first Pimp My live stream. Well, welcome, Nick. Welcome, brother. I may bring on some people here in a little bit. I don't know. Sometimes I go live for a while by myself. Then I bring people on. Sometimes I never bring people on. It's just me. I talk random. This is a Petmuck X1 channel, right? This is like a random channel where I do live streams, and you also get vlogs and stuff from my trips. So welcome. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. Make sure you hit the bell to get all this stuff, and make sure you check, guys. Everybody that's listening, if you really like what I do, my content, my streams. Make sure you check on a regular basis if you're still subbed to me. Because YouTube is fucking me up. Yeah, welcome. I think we should initiate Nick to his first live stream by making him pay the clock. I think that sounds good. Nick, you got to pay the clock. Yeah, we'll definitely figure it out, Luna. Definitely figure. He lives, I think he's close to Dallas. I was going to go to Dallas, but I've already been to Dallas. I went to Dallas for that ApostaCon convention I went to, which I could go back and really experience Dallas in a different way. But I really wanted to go to Austin. I've always wanted to go to Austin because Austin's different. Austin's cool, and it's spring break in Austin. Austin sounds like the better choice right now. Yeah, occasionally I do get 20-somethings to have sex with food. That's true. So yeah, Austin is gonna be cool. I'm also here's the deal, man. I'm getting to meet so many cool. I'm gonna get to meet Aaron in the summer. I'm going out to LA, and Aaron lives out there in that area, so I'm gonna get to hang out with Uncle Aaron there. And I guess me and Uncle Aaron's gonna take a road trip from LA to the Bay Area, where I hang out with Landon. Everybody's so like excited when they first get to meet Landon, and I was. But I've met Landon so many times now, it's just like, well, it's like Ingram with me, right? The first time Ingram met me, he was a fucking nervous wreck for a while. I mean, seriously, he was all nervous and shit. But now when he meets, he's like, oh, that's just pimp. He's cool with it, you know. And that's the way I am with Landon. You know, Landon's a world-renowned scientist. We all know that. Yeah, blah, 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 yabba, yabba. But Landon's like a homeboy. And you can ask Ingram. I treat Landon and Galen, you know, everybody's nervous about Galen, just like I do everybody else. Ingram is a witness. He was there. I treat them just like I would anybody else. I'll tell them to go fuck themselves and fuck with them and make jokes, and that's just who I am. He was there. Oh, yeah, they're awesome people. They really are. And Galen is a fucking gentleman, dude. He is a straight-up gentleman. Galen was the perfect host. He really was. He really was the perfect host. I couldn't have asked for a better host than Galen. D. Wayne was the perfect host in Seattle. I had a blast. I stayed basically a week with D at D's house, and D and Clark was awesome as well. And so, I mean, I have met so many awesome people and done so many. Like last year, look, I had ups and downs last year, but I seen and did things that most people hadn't done in their lifetime. I did it in 1 year. You know, I've seen mountains, deserts, oceans. I flew. I went on boats. Trains, buses. You know, I did so much shit last year, and I'm going to be doing so much shit this year. Like this year coming up, February, Charlotte, right? I get to hang out with some cool people. I get to go to an aviation museum. Aviation. I get to go to a NASCAR museum, which I think is pretty cool. I'm not a NASCAR fan, but NASCAR's got a lot of history to it, and I really like that. It's Americana. So I get to go to that, and then we get to go play putt-putt golf. I have played putt-putt golf before, but it was some years back when I was married. Galen's smart as hell, even if he can be a bit grating at times. I'd love to meet him to hear Pimp Muck argue with him. Well, we've argued. I mean, the trip in New Orleans wasn't no arguing. But me and Galen just went at each other. But Galen's a dear friend of mine, a dear friend. That was awesome. You know, I'm really proud of you. Thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate that, Luna. I do appreciate that. You still think we need to try to get tickets to The Price is Right and try to... That is a very excellent idea, Aaron. I mean, that's an excellent idea. Aaron wants me to get tickets to The Price is Right and try my... I don't know how you get picked. I really don't. With my look, I possibly could get picked. I may look different because, as you can tell, Pimp is trying to grow the beard out, the neck beard. I've never had a neck beard. It's really, really gray, and I'm going to really, really dye it. If I keep it. I don't know if I'm going to keep it because it's patchy as fuck around here. It grows very solid here and very solid on the neck, but yeah, that would be cool as fuck. Yeah, well, I don't freeze up on camera. I won't do that. Oh, I'll tell Drew Carey something. My dick, he still hosts it, right? And I won't tell him that. But I do need to get a shirt that says Pimp Monk at youtube.com/Pimp Monk X on it. Do need that if I get on. You right by the door screaming. That's my mama. I love my mama. Mama, I love you. I think I pissed her off with that comment. I'll be right back, food. Okay, Ingram. You'd buy one. Well, yeah. I need some clock payments, man. Come on. Clock payment, TikTok, motherfucker. Nick needs to pay the clock. Nick, pay the tick. Come on, Nicky Poo. The clock has called you, Nicky Poo. Let me see. Go here. Check this shit out. Checking on this shit right here. Right here, right here. Let's read some of the comments from today's video. He looks like Honey Boo Boo if she was a 40-year-old man who was on some major drugs, laughing my ass off. Then she said, oh my God, that's some hot chick. This is the most beautiful shit I've ever seen. Good job, man. LOL, at least it wasn't Dorn. Wow, even Pitmuck is stupid enough to believe that Onision's a pedophile. Some people don't get comedy. Pimpisha, rape my eyes. He's okay, different comment. This is for fucking real. Made my day 1,000,000 times more bright. Thank you. Needed that. Well, fuck, that was awesome. I feel dirty and ashamed just watching this. Good work. I have the most comfortable boner right now. That's good. I like that one. That was a good one. I was going to go to Pornhub, but this will do. Very good. My God, pimp, laughing my ass off. You look good as a redhead. Onion boy rolling on the floor laughing. Is this neckbeard attack on? Fuck that. Oh dear. Good show, pimp. I shouldn't have watched this before sleep. Liz Reptile says, I have the most awkward boner. You're over age of 12, pimp, so you're too old for him. It's funny because Pimp Monk X's demeanor is already just the demeanor of a valley girl. Just change your tone a little and bam, Pimpisha. My demeanor is of a valley girl? This is hot. Down's a shot. Love you, pimp. Should I be scared or confused? And then somebody commented to that comment and said, entertained. I like that. Love the makeup, very fetching. Pimpisha, love this pimp. I bloody love you, man. Why you gotta hurt me like this, baby? You know no one can treat you like I could. Fuck me, Pimpisha, please. Hope you don't mind if I masturbate to this video. Masterpiece, Pimp Monk. Keep up the work. Pimpisha is up there with my wildest bed. There's a lot of cool fucking comments, dude. A lot of cool comments. Hey, what was that for? My mom just opened the door and flipped me off. Yes. That's how cool a mother I got. She opened the door and flipped me off. Yep, that happens. What's up, nerds? What's up, Red Eye? Eye of the Redness. But yeah, I had some very cool comments on that video today. It was very funny. I like the ones where people wanting to fuck Pimpisha. It just makes me laugh. My mom is awesome. She's very awesome. My mom is an awesome mom. She raised Pimp Monk and still does it. My mom is an awesome mom. So I need to see some client payments. I think Red Eye is going to bust you upside the head with a 2x4, and Larry is going to castrate you all if you don't pay the clock. And if you don't have balls to castrate, he's going to tear your boobs off. That's seriously going to happen. And Red Eye's just going to shoot you in the stomach with a 22. Buckshot, not a 22. You're gonna put a buckshot in your fucking belly. My mom is an awesome mom. It's all fun and games until Greg shows up at your house with his "I'm gonna rape you" face on. I hear you. Dude, if I got raped by Onision, I would never leave the house again. Because if that little pussy faggot can control my body, then something's wrong with me. I'm a fucking waste of human space and I just need to die. Seriously. I'm telling you right now, if anyone in this world gets in a fight with Onision and they lose, you should just commit suicide. Seriously. You should just commit suicide. Because that pussy should not be able to whoop your ass. Yeah, I would snap his ass in the head. Seriously though, I don't give a fuck if you ain't even a fighter. If you are a pussy yourself and he whoops you, then you should feel really, really bad. And so you should just slit your wrist and bleed out. Honestly, just go. And remember, down the road, not across the road. Yes, you would, Luna. You beat his ass to the ground. Mom is an awesome. I heard. Oh, you gonna see what your mom's getting her Irish up about you before you go to the room again. I heard you sing this good tune. Yeah. The guy weighs like 180 at the most. Well, dude, he is so fucking feminine, man. It would literally be like whipping a small, tiny woman. I'm serious. Onision is a small, tiny woman. That's what he is. He's a small, tiny woman. And you can quote me on that on Twitter. I hope the motherfucker sees the video and responds. I really do. I hope he does. Because I know his response, right? We know he's going to call me fat and stuff like that. Stupid and just blah, blah, bullshit. And then all the people who hate him and watch his videos are going to come to my channel and sub. So I hope the bitch responds. He probably won't. I'm not a big enough YouTuber to respond to. However, I am a known enough YouTuber to respond to. I'm known enough. He knows who I am. I'm a critically acclaimed YouTuber. You know how most movies and shit are critically acclaimed? Don't have a lot of people watching this shit? That's me. I'm critically acclaimed. My head is a bald head. You're about to get mobbed by 12-year-old angry girls. Him beating one of them. Him being one of them, yeah. Or having his dick in one of them. Yeah. Little bastard. That little bastard ain't got shit on me. Little bastard. So let me check the clock. Not a goddamn penny. Not a goddamn penny. What the fuck is Landon Cardinal? He needs to pay the clock. Brothers and sisters, I come here today with a message. I said with a message from God up on high. That's right. He came to me last night. He brought me up on the mountaintop and he said, Pimmonk, you gotta spread the word of the clock. You gotta make my children pay the clock. You gotta beat those bastards into clock submission and have them pay the fucking clock. And I, being a servant of God, will not refuse to do that mission. So I am on a mission for God to make you pay the clock. So pay the clock, brothers. Pay the clock. There you go. There you go. I may go play putt-putt golf as Pimpation. What do you think about that in Charlotte? No, Pimp cannot spare you. Go get the card right now. I know, good Rev Pimp. That's right. Pimp I'm just spreading the message. I'm spreading the message. It ain't me. That would be hilarious. It would be funny for Pimp Fisher to go play putt-putt golf with Raising Girl and Tranny and Gage. I think that would be funny. I probably won't. I don't know. We'll see. We will see. My God, boys and girls, my God. Murdered. We need some people to bear the clock. Before I reap them, where's my car? The clock is open. Come pay it now. The clock is open. Come give me your cash. The clock is open. That little Creed for you right there. That little Creed singing, pay the clock. Pay the clock. Give me everything, pay the clock. We will see. Probably not. Well, come wait on the water with me. You in that fire. I gotta reach over here and do this shit. Throw that in the garbage. Oh, how you doing, hon? I'm doing all right. How you doing? Tasty beverage with arms wide open. You're sons of bitches and you're not clock paying asses. Watch Victoria Justice play shit with his PCAs for favorite male country artist and favorite album. Notification. I don't know why that does that. So yeah, what's up? I'm doing all right, Sean. How you doing? Sean called me Han. Do you will have fun either way? Yeah, we'll have fun. Damn sure will. We will damn sure have some fun. We gonna have that fun up in that area. I'm going to do things. Pimp Isha should go to teeny bopper stores at the mall, accuse random girls of trying to steal Nietzsche from her. Yeah, well, most of the stores around here are not, the teeny boppers ain't gonna know who the fuck Onision is. Well, they may, fuck, I don't know. I don't keep up with the youth. Good, drunk in my dorm doing things. Awesome, Sean. Awesome. Doing things in the dorm. I think you should pay the clock, Sean. That's what I think. This is what Pimp Monk thinks. Indeed. With arms wide open, I give you everything. Let me see here. Copy that link there, brother. I guess I'll invite a couple people. Do 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 do. All right, send him a damn link. God damn it! My mouse is fucking up. Let's send him a link. Bring that old motherfucker up in here. And send him a link. Boom, that's done. That is done. One more person. One more person gets a link. All right, I'll send a few people a link. I may send more here in a minute. Oh, wait a minute. One more person. One more G. Send this motherfucker a link. Send that person. Okay. Now, enough links sent out for now. I need to say some fucking cloud payments, god damn it. Fuck off, Chris. Chris is too busy to come in here. Don't even, man, I rescind my invitation. You faggot. The more confused they were about who he was, the funnier. Hey. Huh? What the fuck are y'all talking about? Sean needs to pay the clock. There's Ingram.
Hello.
What are you doing here?
Well, somebody sent me a link. This is.
Oh, that was purely by accident.
Oh,
I'm joking.
This isn't the.
Damn, dude, what is going on with your hair?
I know, right? And they're growing like crazy.
Dude, you look like fucking Carrot Top.
Yeah, it's a thing.
You need to pay the clock for that hairdo.
Oh, dude, you don't like it, bro?
No.
Oh man, I'm gonna grow it out. I actually do a thing where I straighten it. And
Do whatever you want to do, man. You grow the beard out too, I say.
Yeah, I'm thinking about shaving, going baby face with the beard. I need to because I got psoriasis, which it's really bad on my elbow. I don't know if you can see it or not, but Actually,
Don't be showing your skin herpes.
skin herps. Got the skirps. Got the skirps.
Nobody wants to see that shit.
Well, the good news is I actually get it cleared up by going to the tanning bed, which it's better to do it in the sun because tanning bed, give you cancer. But with it being cold down here, I can't really just strip ass naked and go out in the sun like I want to.
And nobody wants to see that.
Yeah, no, they don't. Maybe when it's cleared up, but not right now. Trust me.
I'm thinking about growing my beard out.
You should do that. Like, do you want to do, or are you gonna do a goatee style, or are you like kind of like?
I'm
I went ahead and tweeted that Pimp Isha video to Onision.
Do it. Everybody needs to do that.
Yeah.
I want this son of a bitch to respond. Because, I know his response. This guy's fat.
Yeah, this guy's just a fatty, blah, 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 or some bullshit.
He's going to die in a couple of years and he's stupid. He didn't even do his makeup correctly.
Yeah.
It's going to be some stupid shit like that. Yeah.
Getting trolled by someone who looks like a grown, like, what was that joke earlier? That was pretty good with the like grown ass version of Honey Boo Boo. I don't know what you were reading, but
there's some chick. She was playing. My favorites are the ones where people want to fuck Papisha.
Yeah. Oh, those are always great.
Those are great. Papisha's my ponage character. Because I pretty much pwned that motherfucker.
Oh, I love her. She's just wonderful. Oh man, anytime that you get an issue going on, shut up, cat. Anytime you get an issue going on, Pimp Isha is always the best.
Yeah,
always the best person to you.
My favorite part of the videos was when I did the whole pacifier thing.
Yeah, you mentioned that earlier in the stream. How you were trying to.
And what was I calling it? Undiwears. I don't know why I come up with undiwears.
Undiwears. Yentl died? I don't know who Yentl is.
Man, fuck Yentl. Oh, where is that?
Sean.
Sean needs to pay the clock. I put Sean on the clock.
I feel like I haven't seen Sean in a while. How you been, Sean?
You ain't know who that is.
I don't even know who the fuck that is. You're right. Mr. CN. But yeah.
But
so so down here in Mississippi, I'm pretty sure Pimp can attest to this. If you don't like the weather, wait a couple days because it'll fucking change.
This weather's been weird.
Dude, so it's been 70 fucking something degrees Fahrenheit down where I'm at for like the past week. And then the week before that, it was raining ice.
Yep. I'll tell you what, it was literally one day it was 11 degrees.
Yeah.
And then 2 days later it was 70.
Straight up. So, but that little heat streak that we had where it was it was like basically almost 80, well, in fucking January. So the air conditioner went out of my apartment. Let's say it was last Tuesday is whenever it went out, right? And maintenance people came out. We called because I'm at an apartment complex, and we called the maintenance people, and they're like, "Hey, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and come check it out." They come check it out, and they basically bullshit, their way out of it, saying, "Oh, well, we can't do anything. We got to order this part." Okay. If you can't do anything because you need a certain part, I get that. I understand that. That's cool. So they're like, we're going to go ahead and put the work order in for this part. And then we should be getting it first thing tomorrow morning. And then we'll come and fix it. So, okay, cool. So next morning, I call the office. As soon as they open, it's like, hey, just, wanted to, see exactly when you guys are, because, I got to work. I was like, I want to make sure I know when exactly you guys are coming. Should I leave the door unlocked? Blah, 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 all this other shit. And they were like, oh, well, we never put a work order in. What are you talking about?
Damn.
Okay, cool. All right, so maybe somebody slipped up. All right, whatever. So then they put the work order in, right? So it doesn't come in until the next day. And the person that they send over here, I live in a very predominantly black neighborhood, and I don't want to, bring race in the equation, but the guy who came over heard my Hang on, give me a second. Sorry. Shut up. Shut up. That's my phone. Sorry. Which is also my camera. But hang on, let me answer this bullshit and let them know.
Oh my god.
Hey, let me call you right back. Are you outside? Okay, well text me when you do, okay? All right, bye. Sorry about that, guys. So he ends up coming up, or like one of the maintenance, one of the newer guys, apparently overheard my mom because she was pretty fucking pissed because it's been fucking hot and we ain't had no goddamn air conditioning, right? She's like, well, those motherfuckers are just stupid, blah 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 blah. And she wasn't like loud or anything, but he happened to overhear it and he said, "Oh, I'm not going to work on their stuff. It's a hostile environment."
Yeah.
So I have to wait because the maintenance man feels like it's a hostile environment for another maintenance guy to come in here.
Damn.
Right? So I'm like, dude, why didn't you just, and we didn't even find out that he said that until like after the air conditioner was already fixed. It's like, oh, well, he decided not to because he felt like it was, I was like, what?
Yeah.
Didn't even knock on the door and be like, hey, everything all good?
Okay, so I'm very glad you're not Middle Eastern and have this guy's name. Seriously.
Yeah. Wait, what? Oh, wow.
Look at that name. Ram it in my asshole.
Ram it in my asshole. Ram it in my asshole.
Ram it in my. That's just the name, right? I love that guy.
Ugh.
And he's got a pervy face too. Look at him.
My God. What's funny is he looks like a gas station owner that I know.
Oh, they all look like that. All sand niggas look.
They're cool though, and you know what's fucking hilarious?
I'm very good friends with
Me
one.
too, actually. What's hilarious is I'm down like right next door. Matter of fact, the store I keep referring to. That's where I go, and there's a joke that we make because you know how sometimes, especially down here, you can vouch for this. They got the fucking restaurants and the gas stations and shit, and sometimes they'll have this
Good
fucking
food.
and it's good ass food. Yeah, that's the thing. Like it's good. They got this fried chicken, the crispy crunchy chicken. I think you guys, yeah, right. So these motherfuckers. So we make a joke because it's down the street from our workout, and I tell whenever I'm at work, I'm like, hey man, I'm about to go take a lunch break, and they're like, hey man, what you gonna go get? I'm like, I'm about to go get me some ISIS chicken, bro. You want some? But here's the ironic thing about it: the guys who actually own that gas station, they are from Palestine, but they're Christians. And I remember because around Christmas time, they have like ornaments and decorations hanging up everywhere and stuff. And I'm like, hey, let me get some chicken or whatever. And I overheard one of the customers conversating with them, you know, saying blah, blah, blah. I was like, well, why'd you leave Palestine? And they were like, well, because we're Christians. I was like, huh, wow, interesting. Because
the motherfuckers I know ain't Christians. But
yeah.
I walk in, they'll say, that one guy will say, hey, big guy. And I say, hey, Sandy. Sandy, short for Sandy.
But no, they hear me say I'm getting ISIS chicken, and they think it's funny, actually. He
thinks it's funny that I call him Sand Nigger.
Yeah. Yo, bro, I want some of the ISIS chicken, bro. That shit.
I mean, this dude is fucking hilarious, too, dude. I mean, he tries to, he says, let me tell you, because he watches my videos.
Very, very, very good point, Uncle Aaron. Sorry.
He watches my videos and shit. He'd be like, let me tell you a joke to say on the YouTube. So I'm like, fuck you, Sandy. He'll tell me all the time. Let me tell you a joke.
I could just imagine y'all two having like one of those conversations like, fuck you, Sandy. Oh, no, fuck you, Sandy. You hear my joke?
Yeah, I'll walk in and say, grape slushy, $2.99. I'll say shit like that to him.
Be like, fuck you, fat guy. Or
he does. He'll say that. Fuck you, fat guy. I mean, he's cool as fuck, dude. I love this. I don't even know his fucking name. I call him, Muhammad.
Muhammad. Either Sandy or Muhammad. That's all I know him.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
But I call him Sandy all the time. That's what I call him.
I'm gonna start calling those guys. They're cool as shit too, and like.
Yeah, they're really cool. Most of them are cool people, especially because a lot of the younger ones are like, they listen to rap music. They're down.
Yeah.
I mean, they're down.
They're down, dude. They'll rock the hats. They'll rock the clothes. They'll fucking give you hookups on all kinds of shit at the gas station. Oh, you want the Swisher? Oh, I'll give you 2 for 1. Only you.
Another thing I fuck with him about. See, he hires number white girls.
Genius. Absolute fucking genius.
And I'm telling him, I said, are you a racist? Do you hate white guys? Why don't you have a fucking white dude up in here? Because white guys are slow. That's what it's slow, stupid white guys. That's what he'll say.
Yeah.
And I said, you trying to get that white pussy, ain't you? Yes, I am. And he made a joke all the time. He told me, he said, I went to Tunica. You know where Tunica's at.
I know exactly where Tunica is.
Yeah. Tunica's where all the casinos is at. Yep. And I said, did you play slots? No. Did you play the tables? No, I played the pussy. That's what he said. That's what he told me.
See, a lot of motherfuckers think that, all this, most of them have already been here and have businesses.
Well, they own, and see, a lot of things they don't know, they own stores all over.
Yeah, and there's a loophole in the law. A lot of people don't know this, that if you own a business and you're a foreigner, or not a foreigner, if you own a business and you've become a U.S. citizen, right, you have, I think, the first 10 or 5 years tax-free, right? So what they'll do is they'll own the business and run it, and then they'll immigrate one of their relatives from overseas over here. They'll do it legally, okay?
They'll rotate.
Yeah, they'll rotate. So they'll sign right as soon as it gets to that 5 or 10 year mark, they'll sign it off, and it's a family member they're signing it off to who's now a legal resident.
Yeah, it's either hotels or gas stations.
It's either hotels or gas stations, and that's fucking genius because
most of those hotels are owned by Indians. Yeah, India, people from India. I used to go to a hotel back in the day that was owned by one of them Indian dudes, and when I'd go out when I was young, I'd go out and party, get a piece of ass at a bar, go to that hotel, and he told me one day, he's like, You're going to catch the AIDS.
You catch the hippie.
You're going to catch the AIDS. And I'm like,
going to catch the hippie.
I said, well, I'm going to catch him in your goddamn hotel. And he
bust out hotel before I get it from one of these hoes I'm fucking.
I'm going to get AIDS from your nasty-ass bathrooms. That's, what's really cool about around here now is that I've kind of become, I don't know why, but I've kind of become like a local celebrity. Because everybody watches my videos around here now.
That's what's up, dude.
Yeah, and see, at first, I was the atheist guy, and they were kind of standoffish.
Yeah.
But I'm such a loudmouth and I'm a good talker. Landon says I'm a good talker. Speaking of Landon, there he is. I'm a professional talker is what Landon says.
Landon, you are dressed up in some kind of attire.
Well, part of the thing I'm doing is that they want me to have my core, upper core body warm, but I don't want to make the house hot, and I don't like to be in sort of like a hot house. So the area around here is actually quite cold,
right?
And this is the same thing. You go upstairs where the clock is.
Did they suggest for you to go to like a sauna or anything?
Well, no. I mean, there were some suggestions for that when I was trying to clear out my lungs, but they would say only kind of go in there for a little bit, cough it out, and come back.
I've never been in a sauna ever, never.
You're not missing much.
I need to go in and it'll help me lose weight though.
It will. Yeah. If you're cool, if you're down with sweating,
don't want.
I'm fat in Mississippi. I sweat a lot anyway.
Yeah. But it's
chest wound or with any like healing wound.
Yeah, I've never been. I want to go into one of those where you add the rocks.
Yeah, those are because you can control the amount of steam and shit.
But like the one I almost went into one at a gym one time, and it was like a controlled heat with the thing. I want to go in old fashioned ones.
What up, Pug Nasty? Pug Nasty says, "What's up, man?"
I want to go on one of those Indian TP things where they do the fucking heat.
That's like Native American Indian TP, or
them goddamn motherfuckers that we outpowered and took the land from.
Not the kind.
Feathers, not dots, nigga. Me hung low.
Me hung low.
Well, so anyway, how are you there, Great Pet Monk? And I see that there is, of course, Matthew Ingram, the metric, the metric handle guy, and of course Larry.
I'm all right. I'm feeling much better than I was. Still clotted up in the head, but I'm like way better. I was sick as a fucking dog for about 4 to 5 days there, but I'm feeling way better, and I'm on the medications. I still like two medicines I think I got to get, but I'm on the good meds, the blood pressure and stuff. So yeah,
That's good.
trying to get my shit down, trying to get the fluid off my body and everything. Drinking tons of fucking water. But right now I'm drinking a Coke.
I was about to say, because like this whole stream, like I've seen you take a shot and drink Coke Zero, which is a tasty beverage. Mighty fine tasty.
I did take a shot of whiskey a while ago though.
Well, one's not bad.
That was the only shot I took.
Yeah. If you drink water with it, I'm sure Landon can attest to this.
Yeah. Water's good.
Were you able to enjoy a nice glass of wine with water on your New Year's, Landon?
Yeah, and in fact, because I haven't had to have pain meds in almost 3 weeks now, I can do moderate amounts of alcohol.
Cool. As long as I'm assuming there's water and
lots of water and that sort of thing. So what I'm going to do, for example, today is I'm going to go and do some more tea and get some water, and then maybe consider
Motif
something from the cabinet.
The fuck was that?
It's my ringtone. It's from Doctor Who. Give me a second.
Moti. That sounds like a rapper. Moti. Wrong servo service station. Hey man.
BRB.
Be right back, nigga.
Yeah, that too.
God, I hate that dude when he says that shit. Ambo equals Angus. Yeah, we are. Ambo is set around here too. There's an Ambo, especially if you're from the streets. So yeah. I'm disappointed in you motherfuckers. I haven't had no decent clock payments in 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, something like that. Whatever. I'm gonna stab someone in the fucking throat and watch him die.
You shouldn't have killed Gafford.
Gafford's dead?
I thought he came back to life.
I don't know. He's a bitch. You saw Pimp was live, you didn't realize. Now you know. See. Don't feel bad. A lot of people don't know I'm live right now because they're not getting fucking alerts and shit.
Yeah, well, it's kind of it's a feature.
Yeah.
So let's see. Oh, Nicole's in there. Of course. Hello, Red Eye. Always a pleasure, sir. And who else is? Oh, Luna's there. I see. Good evening, yes. Good evening, morning, whatever your time zone is, Luna.
She's in Texas, so she's on my time. I think.
Yeah, you have a broad time zone appeal and a broad multi-continent reach there. So.
Yeah, there's a lot of different time zones around there.
Although I think you're underrepresented in Africa and South America. I don't recall anyone from in the chat room from those two continents.
Yeah. Now, I did meet a dude from Africa at VidCon who knew who I was.
Ah, yeah. I mean, I say, I know you got reach there. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that I shared your content stuff in the Cape Town region in South Africa.
Yeah, I've got a lot of people in the chat room from a lot of places. You know, Bunny's from Norwegian.
Yeah. That's sort of his.
I get a lot of UK people. I get a lot of British people, and that's what's cool about this channel. I can go live during the morning a lot, and I have a lot of British people come up again.
Yeah.
And I got quite a British following. I got a Canadian following, Australian. Not as much lately with the Aussies, though. For a while, Aussies was like the shit, but not as much lately. I think it's more United Kingdom.
Because I know you've had people from like Japan.
Yeah, I've had Japan people.
Yeah.
I've had people from all over, dude. Pakistan.
Well, during the then I think it's the 2019 eclipse, I'm likely going to be on Pitcairn Island, and I will attempt to buy a satellite connect. So you would have someone from Pitcairn, which is a tiny little island in the middle of South Pacific, probably as far away from just about everything as one can get.
Well, I know next month I'm gonna go to the far, far away country named Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're interesting folk there.
Yeah.
By the way, I've noticed, at least I noticed the times when I was in South Carolina, that the grits were kind of a different style than what I experience in places like Georgia or farther south.
Yeah.
At least the places I went to. I don't know if that's a regional thing, if there's a region, I was seeing regional variants, or I hear the clock.
Somebody needs to pay the fuck. What was my goal, Larry? What did I say earlier? Do you remember? My stream goal? I'm going to go ahead and change it up. It's $62.23. That's my goal. Probably ain't going to make that, though.
$63.22?
Yes. 22 cents. 62 or 62, not 63, 62.
62.22.
Yeah, 62.22.
Lots of twos.
Yeah. I could go $66.66. There you go. That's what I'll do. 66.66. That's the goal for this evening. Or boiled nuts, LOL, everywhere you go in Georgia. Yeah, well, going to Charlotte, they're just discussing this in the little chat box we got going on. Gage won't know that I have the plans. I guess I'm going to be the planner of this trip, which I hate. I like other people planning shit, but I'm gonna have to plan out when we're going where and what we're going to do. But the fucking sucky thing is that, Schroeder backed out because he had issues, and I understand. I'm not pissed off at Schroeder. I've been fucking with him about it, but I'm not really angry at Schroeder. But that and Ingram's not going to be able to. Well, Ingram may be able to go, but he's not going to be able to pay the room. So I'm having to pay the majority of the room, which is like $225 or something like that, which I can do. I'm going to be able to do. I'm just not going to be. I got to figure out money-wise there what I can be able to do in Charlotte because I am paying the majority of the room now.
Yeah.
Schroeder is an issue.
Yeah, Schroeder is an issue. It sucked. Schroeder didn't do anything wrong. Like he didn't. I mean, it had to be done. But I wished he would have done it earlier. Or told me earlier, because I would have done it different.
I like Landon in the hoodie.
Yeah, Landon looks good in the hoodie, man.
Landon looks like he's getting ready to rob a bank.
He just got.
You're welcome. Well, when I go upstairs, I'll do the other suit down soon. This is the way the outfit I use when it's raining out.
Yeah, how's the rain over there? I know y'all been getting crazy rain.
Doing pretty well. I mean, again, I'm not complaining. Of course, I'm not in a place where they're having flooding because a certain city council member back in the 90s, hint, 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 put a lot of emphasis on infrastructure, hint, hint, and other places that are less concerned about their citizens didn't. They flood, and we tend to not.
Well, maybe this person might have been, similar to like a mayor of some kind. Not necessarily
something like that.
Yeah.
Sean, Patreon's cool, but the stream goals are PayPal goals.
Yeah. If as far as paying the clock,
They're PayPal goals. Paying the clock is PayPal goals. But now, if you want to become a Patreon, feel free to do that. That's awesome. Yeah.
Yes.
But the 66 tonight is for the stream. That's the stream goal. Larry, get your ass to Charlotte, Gage said. I'm sure Larry wants to, but he can't physically do that. I mean, he can't do it financially either, but right now, Larry couldn't physically take a trip.
Oh, man, whatever. He can walk. No, I'm just kidding. That's...
Yeah, like, Gabe, I put it to you this way. If I go, you're carrying me around.
Ah, David, that wouldn't happen.
If I could, I would, Larry, but I can't.
That would be some substantial gravity waves would
Yeah, because
occur.
Gage weighs 35 pounds soaking wet. But
He's
Gabe
smaller
probably
than
weighs-
me.
speaking of health-wise, Landon's gonna be. I seen you bitching about the insurance of the health system today, and I think I know why you were bitching about it because what we were talking about the other night. Am I correct?
Well, there's a little bit of that. I think it's also the fact that it's actually I think it's a flaw in the normal in with most Americans. I'm one of those radical Americans that believe healthcare is a right, not an economic privilege.
Yes.
And that U.S. citizens have the right to decent healthcare.
Right.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
And you start with that, and then figure out how you then, because having a right doesn't guarantee you have it.
Yeah.
That's one of the functions of both what people do and governments do.
But it should not be a privilege to get health care.
Yes.
And it should, it's fucking suck.
Very few people bring up the notion of it being a right. The discussion in the U.S. is around partisan issues.
Yeah.
Not. Oh, go ahead.
No, I agree 100%. I'm just saying, yeah. It should be a right, not a privilege. The other night, dude, I went on check some insurance out. Landon wanted me to do this because the deal is I need operations. That's just fact. I need I'm going to end up having these bones stuff. I got some bone issues. So I've got spurs on the back. I guess they're spurs. They're on the back of both of my feet. I've got one underneath my knee that's now popped up, and one on the side of my foot that's popped up. So, and I also have this massive fucking hernia in my belly. But it's surgery. So I checked out insurance. The insurance is going to cost me, what was it, $360 something a month?
Yeah, something like that.
$360 something a month.
Now there are cheaper insurance, but part of the thing that you want to have is insurance that actually is effective, right?
Yeah, that's effective. Yeah.
Right. You can get insurance for $99 a month, but $99 a month means you pay out of pocket expenses about $10,000, and you costs you hundreds of bucks for medicine and so forth. So that cheap insurance tends to be only for catastrophic, situations.
Yeah.
Correct. What Pimp Monk needs is some basic insurance. He needs to have the ability to go to the doctor when he needs to go to the doctor, to get the medication when medications are medically required.
Correct.
And here again is back to the problem of, and I'm speaking to those ussers, the ussers out there. Most people, most citizens argue about matters relating to partisan stuff of should the government be in healthcare or not, and it's the problem of the lawyers doing lawsuits, and it's the big pharma and on the line, all this sort of noise about there. And again, some of that debate is actually valid, but I call it noise with regards to what I believe is a fundamental right of a citizen of this country, which is to healthcare, to standard healthcare. And when you start with that and say that's a given, then you figure out what it needs to happen there. One of the other problems, of course, in the discussion is that many many politicians benefit from campaign contributions of people vested in the fight over arguing about health care, right? Now, you're not supposed to call them bribes, because I remember when I was on the council, the city attorney said, stop referring to campaign contributions as legal bribes. But there are attempts to, and this is again, other thing that's very important to understand is that what I'm talking about is not from a partisan issue. If you sit there and say, oh, he's a Democrat, he's a liberal, he's a blah, 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 he's a Bernie person, you're misunderstanding the point. And in fact, you're probably part of the problem if what you're thinking I'm delivering is a pro-Democrat or pro-Republican or pro-medical association or pro-lawyer or pro-blah, blah, blah. You're probably part of the problem. Instead, start with the notion, and here again, I'm making very explicit U.S. citizens, right? Because I think it's U.S. One of the fundamental rights of a U.S. citizen should be the ability to receive, proper medical care.
Yes.
Now, if that, now how do you do that, right? Is going to result in some policies there. But I think if you start with that basis and then say, okay, how do we get there? You should have a better discussion, right? And this notion about do you repeal Obamacare, or do you replace it with this, or do you do single payer, or do you have this sort of libertarian idiocy of free market or whatever the stuff is going on? No. Start with the notion, and if you go, for example, to Canada, and you typically go to Canadians who, by the way, have outstanding health care.
Yeah.
Now, don't believe the BS about, this person had to wait. Don't believe all that
percentages or less than one.
Yeah. And you go to the Canadian and say, and you ask them about, do you have the right to health care? They say, most Canadians will say, well, of course I do, right? And one of the things, for example, that Canada did, is to ensure, the government ensures that the right to health care is something that's as universal as possible across Canada. Now, the economics of U.S. healthcare is impacted by a number of factors. Some of it is the recuperating costs. Some of it is the legal costs to just be in the healthcare profession. Some of it is the whole madness about cost of prescription drugs. Some of it is, it's a bunch of things that are factors, and the present arguments, I think, in Congress do not reflect the fundamental issue at stake, which is how can U.S. citizens receive the health care that I believe they have the right to receive.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Sean, for the $10 clock payment. Appreciate it. He said, I love his note, by the way. I want to read his note. It says, you make me feel, brother. Thanks for all you do. I appreciate that very much. It was cool. And Landon laid it down for you right there, people.
Yeah.
I didn't want to interrupt Landon, so I was letting him get it all out. That was good shit.
Yeah. Which most politicians around here would probably be like, that's crazy talk. Everybody knows that you got.
Yeah. Now, the other thing I got to separate is between anecdotal comments and major, and systematic comments, right? Because for every person that sits there and says, well, I'm in country X and blah, 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 bad thing happened to my sister or to me or whatever, you can go and find an additional anecdotal stuff on this side. And trading worst case scenarios or best case scenarios doesn't help the debate, right?
Right. All it does is create some kind of weird competition that shouldn't even exist to begin with.
And by the way, Stan, I do know the Canadian healthcare system very well. I've experienced it very well. I do know what I'm talking about with the Canadian system. And it bugs me when people sit there and point to Canada as a reason why the U.S. should continue with this current system. The healthcare system and the state of healthcare in the United States is a threat to national security. It is a threat to the economic well-being of the country. It is a threat to the budget, and it's a threat to the life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. It is a serious threat, much more serious than some Al-Qaeda, ISIS, blah, 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 blah thingies, right? The number of people for which healthcare impacts their life significantly, causes them to deal with financial hardships, kills them, is an embarrassment to the United States and is a destabilizing the United States. And if you look at almost every metric in terms of, again, broad sets, not anecdotal things, not, I was here, but broad things, the U.S. should be utterly embarrassed by the state of the healthcare system compared with the rest of the modern world, right? And so we should, if you want to make America great again, deal with something that is really an impact on the national security and national safety. An unhealthy public creates more health debt, is less able to take care of itself, is less productive, is performance descent. I mean, a number of things that come with the poverty of our healthcare system. And so it's a real, again, it's something that we should be having a discussion about how to fix, rather than you're a blah 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 party, so I got to oppose the da 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 da, and I got to repeal this or I got to do that. That's not answers.
No.
So I'm not sure if you're seeing in the chat or not, Landon, but Stan had a couple questions.
Sure.
In regards to your last
Vote Stan.
he said he asks, okay, tell me why it takes me a year to see my specialist. He says that's pretty much one of his questions. There was another thing he said, something about does nothing. I do more by researching on my own and changing holistically, whatever that means. Demographics and tech, add ADV, I'm assuming advertisements with automation are both our largest threats. Regardless of how you see it, at least it only takes 1 year for you to see a specialist. Compared to the American, I'm not saying it's perfect in my opinion, but that's just from my own anecdotal, if you will.
Well, let's take it. If you're going to trade anecdotal stuff, Stan, Pimp Monk, how long has it been since you have had a problem walking in your feet?
Oh, it's been
Phew. We were there for
how long? How long? How long have you had problems?
about 3 years now.
How long has it taken you to see a specialist?
Oh, 3 years.
Right? And it's not tomorrow, right? It's not scheduled tomorrow, right?
Right.
How long will it take for you to afford to even pay to see a specialist?
Oh, wow.
Now, Stan, if you want to talk about saying, okay, you had some, and I don't know the issue you had, it's something where you had to wait for a year. Here's a guy who's had 3 years, and there's no end in sight in how long he's going to wait. Yeah. That's a big problem. And yet we, quote, have all this medical miracles over. And by the way, I can talk to you about a good, I don't know what province you're in, because there's also differences between the healthcare you would see in British Columbia versus Manitoba and so forth. So someone in British Columbia, that their times to see healthcare is essentially different. And so it probably, I guess maybe the compromise is to say that in some ways, because it does vary from province to province, that Canadian healthcare is not necessarily national in its experience. Because someone in Nunavut is going to see a different system than someone like Newfoundland. So if you want to start talking about it in details, and I think part of that red herring is to say, oh, well, here's a person who has a problem in country X, and therefore the U.S. should continue doing what it does, which is here's a guy that's waiting for 3 years, has no hope of getting a specialist, even though, quote, we had the best healthcare, blah, 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 blah. No, we don't. Our healthcare system is a national emergency. It is a threat to national security. It is a threat to the economic well-being of citizens.
And meanwhile, and I don't mean to interrupt.
Go ahead.
Meanwhile, let's look what just recently happened. We had an election not too long ago, right?
Yeah.
Every single person who was running for election, not just Hillary and Trump, every single person. Do you know how many health plans they have access to?
Yeah.
They have access to more than one.
Yes.
We have trouble trying to access one that can cover depending whatever our ailment or condition may be.
Mm-hmm.
So even though we may not be as taxed as much as you guys are, you have quick. Is it the best access? I don't know. Again, this is kind of speaking anecdotally, but if we have access to it, we are not going to get to it as quick as you guys may be. But at the same time, kind of backing up what Landon was saying, rather than discussing the competition of everything, let's address the fact that this should be a right before anything.
Yes.
Let's address the fact that this should be a right, not a privilege. Period.
Yeah.
And then go from there. That is important, because you can discuss it all day of what you need to do as far as the system that's put in place now, but you have to address the fact that it needs to be a right. And if you can't address it or accept it as that or as fact, then that's the issue right there. The communication, the common ground right there. It needs to happen. Mm-hmm. And if you're just going to compete talking about, well, it wasn't as bad as blah, blah, then it's getting nowhere. All it's getting to is a pointless competition that's only going to make everyone sicker and unhealthier.
Yeah. It's crazy.
In my opinion.
By the way, I think Stan is also missing the point when he says, well, I think mental health is more of a threat. Dude, mental health is part of health. Right?
Yeah.
Period.
So wrong again, right? So
Yeah,
sorry. Wrong.
You're wrong.
Yeah, you're wrong. It is a part of. You're right. It's part of health. So
But we like you, Stan. We like you.
we don't like.
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
not.
yeah.
I don't like it when people separate that either. That kind of gets on my nerves.
This-
Go ahead.
Yeah. Now, how the big thing, Stan, is how does one protect that right? Because
Right.
just because you have the right doesn't mean you get it, right? For example, Americans have a right to an attorney, except blah 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 blah, and those people who don't, and on the line. So it takes something behind. It takes people and the government to make sure those rights are there. Just having a right doesn't mean that you get it. Right? So, but you start with I think you start with the fact that you do have the right, and and it's the responsibility of people and the industry and the government to make sure those rights are protected. Without protecting the right, you don't have squat.
Now, I like you, Stan, but your argument there was stupid. You live in the country, so that's why you know more about it. That's dumb. Look, dude, I live in America, and there's some fucking red eye can tell me shit about my country I don't fucking know.
That has happened, actually, with me.
Yeah, well, people know things about. Fuck, I've flown on an airplane. I can't fly the fucking airplane.
And your healthcare system is available for the world to see in regards of how it works, since it is kind of a public thing.
And you're talking to somebody who has substantial contacts within your government, who's had substantial I don't want to go on because that's going off on a tangent, but I do know a bit more than the average American about Canada. I'm not saying I'm a Canadian expert,
right?
And I'm not Canadian, but
right.
But one of the canards that happens in the discussion is a person arguing about U.S. healthcare policy finds a worst case scenario with country X like Canada, and then says, "See, you don't want to be like blah 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 because right? It's not a thing." So now one of the problems that that healthcare, for example, there's substantial problems that's facing Canadian healthcare and facing the healthcare of United Kingdom, and some of that comes from threats imposed on the system by certain, political agendas. So just because you have a system doesn't mean you're going to be able to keep it. Just because you have a government at a certain level doesn't mean that's going to stay that way. So people have to work at it, and the government has to work at it, and people have to hold the government accountable and responsible. I know, for example, in the UK, the Prime Minister May seems to have a particular be up her, regarding going after the national healthcare system. And what the Tories typically do is go out to the poor working sucker and say, "Oh, we won't cut your healthcare, but we're going to do blah blah blah." And they get into office and they kick the out of the healthcare system and say, "Well, but we've got to do." So they signal to the left and drive to the right when it comes to the British healthcare system, and it's been suffering as a result of that. Now
this has been. I don't mean to interrupt, but this has been a good discussion because I'm actually.
Shut the fuck up! Would you ass kissing shit?
I'm just saying, like on all sides, Stan's not being a troll. He's voicing his opinion and. Even Red Eye's getting involved. Please continue the discussion. I'm enjoying it.
So now if you want to talk about China and the healthcare system. God. All right. Now, first of all, China should be utterly embarrassed with the way they take care of their citizens, right? And one of the fundamental things, I think it seems to be one of the fundamental things in China, which is we have so many people that, if a few, a bunch die, so what? Seems to be that's what appears. I don't think that's a literal policy, but the other thing about China is that there's a vast difference between the healthcare you find in the cities and the healthcare you find in the countryside. And I'm not just talking about the rural stuff like here in the United States. The typical city, if you use the Chinese government's definition of a city, is that the population of the cities in China is somewhere around 375 million people. The population of the countryside, the official population, is somewhere in the order of 1,100,000,000 people. And I mention official because there's a bunch of unofficial people who are not even recognized as citizens, the second, third childs that aren't supposed to be known, particularly out in the countryside where that's impacted. The typical annual income of somebody living in the city today is about, I think the last time I saw those stats were about 17 times higher than someone in the countryside. So you have an enormous disparity in quality of life and income between city and country. And something that most Chinese don't even know is that there are border protections and border control in and out of Chinese cities, right? So if you have an internal pass and you have connections, Wanxi, connections in the party, like for example, my government, my parents who lived in China for almost 20 years and taught there and have party official blah blah you can go around, you could go and drive from a place like Beijing to a place like Nanjing. And you will go out, you will reach at a point outside of Beijing where you'll go through a border control and you better have the right papers to get out. And then there are border checks to come into Nanjing when you come back in. Same thing with going Kunming, Xi'an, Shengdao, Chengdu, those are places. China keeps the people who are not in the cities, out of the cities to try to, because the cities are crowded enough, right? So the quality of life, the quality of infrastructure, the quality of healthcare that you see in China in the cities versus the countryside is enormously different. I mean, it really is true third world. You take your life in your hands if you even have ability to get access outside in the country for most Chinese citizens. And the government of China should be absolutely embarrassed by the way that they treat their infrastructure, their citizens outside. It's a shame. And if you're going to go and poke at China, don't do like the idiot is talking about true trade stuff. Talk about the fact that there's over 1 billion people in China who don't have the benefit of the Chinese economic wealth, who are really behind. And you talk about a national security threat for China. The people in the cities should not rest comfortably at night knowing the majority of China sees that they have something they don't. And I fear that perhaps in my lifetime, there will be an uprising and a revolution, ironically, against the Communist Party by the landed gentry at some stage. I don't think the cities can continue the way they do.
They can't.
China can fix it, but they have to have the will, and it's a difficult problem.
That's a want to.
So China's got it. China's got a really real mess on their hands. And I also have to say a little bit something or other. I dislike traditional Chinese medicine and the crap it does on the environment, on endangered species. That piece of scientific junk is also something that I hope civilization can rid itself of.
Right.
Yeah, well,
Mike, now I have a question. If I'm not mistaken, it's a two-party, one government system. Is that how they work over there?
No, it's a one-party system.
Two something. I can't.
Well, there is
Kong.
really the Communist Party, which is sort of the government.
And they still consider
Now,
Taiwan.
of course, okay, you have to sort of do definitions of stuff because Hong Kong and there's other like Xi'an are special economic zones,
Right.
and so they're kind of different than the other bits of China. And they're the one China policy really sort of says, well, there's one China, but there is actually kind of multiple Chinas. There's a China of the cities, there's kind of the special economic zone. There is even Hong Kong is an exception, and depending on where you put Taiwan in.
Right. Yeah.
And so the ones there is but one China, and you get to pick which one you're talking to at the point.
So does that have an effect? I would assume it would.
I think
Healthcare thing.
I think so. One of the things that you find in China as well, they have quote national health care. The wealthy have the ability to get the health care they need. And for example, one of the problems that China is facing in corruption is a black market for organs. And if you're
I've heard about
wealthy
that.
and you need a kidney transplant,
It's big, and for the longest,
you can have it obtained.
I was gonna say is for the longest they were denying it, and now it's
I'm
there.
still here. I'm just naked.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Now,
damn, I can see
and by the way, in terms of parties, there are technically other parties. There are variants of the Chinese Communist Party within there, but the problem with the Chinese Communist Party is that you would have a hard time proving they're actually communist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chinese Communist Party is probably the most aggressive, capitalistic, libertarian, economic, anything goes type of system that they can. Libertarian as far as their rules, like that's a typical thing of the libertarians say. Well, get the government out of the mess unless there's a problem. Then in case the government gets into the mess, right? So. I mean,
Just look at Tiananmen.
I'll let me track back and just sit there and say that the Chinese Communist Party definitely takes care of itself, and as long as the officials get what they want, the rest of it can, But when there's a problem, then they go and crack heads.
But basically, to round it all off, America's fucking sucks with healthcare.
Yeah, that's
And
kind of
Americans should be
where it started.
embarrassed. You should really, really be embarrassed when.
It's a joke.
Yeah, and of course, as I say, now I don't mean to be, it may sound like just rounding on in China. I don't mean to be, I don't make it sound like I'm anti-Chinese. I
Fuck those Chinese.
think, on the other hand, the Chinese government should be embarrassed by the situation. I mean, they can't even deliver decent water, keep the sewage out of the water in places like Beijing, right? The government officials don't drink the water. The government officials hide in air filtration systems. The level of pollution is extraordinary. And I'm talking about just air pollution, water pollution. They're
competing
sort of
with-
fundamental basic rights that they have. There is a real big problem.
Yeah.
They've pouring in lots of money, but that money doesn't seem to actually benefit citizens. On the other hand, you look at a place like Nigeria. There's a place that has potential for mass amounts of wealth and can't even the government can't even figuratively tie its shoes, let alone make sure the people benefit from it. So, by the way, China is no means the least of the problem. There's some really bad actors out there. So, yeah. Anyway, I don't mean to be making
No,
like
no, this is-
back to-
I'm anti-Chinese. Fuck those cheeky motherfuckers.
I like pandas.
I like the Ninja Panda or Kung Fu Panda. That was pretty cool.
My niece likes that
Yeah.
movie too. So.
So I hold the track record of the Chinese government in contempt, and I hold the practice of traditional Chinese medicine with a lot of
Sure.
disregard of stuff. It's
Would you say? Would you say like the Chinese medicine part where it clearly can affect everything around you, and that that as well as the medicine has been proven scientifically at this point in time, based off when it was developed, to not do what it says, in fact, maybe make it worse. Depending on the medicine, would you say that there might be some medicines that are worth?
Oh, I don't say that it's entirely. You can't sit there and say, "Oh, well, look what the traditional medicine." I'm saying I talk about traditional medicine in general.
Gotcha.
It's based upon pseudo-scientific mumbo-jumbo stuff. It has, and my previous the doctor that I had my physician that retired. My previous general practice physician was Chinese, and one of his specialties was actually in treating people who suffered from being part of, receiving traditional Chinese medicine. There's a lot of. So one of the things is that there are a lot of traditional Chinese medicines that will, for example, kill you over a period of a decade or two, and the typical lifespan of somebody saying, well, so and so has this particular tree bark and does this sort of thing, and it ends up, so he specializes in trying to detoxify and rid of some of the poisoning that goes on there. It's one of the because he understands Chinese medicine. He can look at somebody who has been suffering from there and say, well, somebody who's got a lifespan of 40, 50, 60 years, that might be long for somebody out in the countryside of China. Isn't going to necessarily know that this particular tree bark stuff has high levels of mercury that's slowly killing them. It's now one of the because people sit there and say, well, traditional Chinese medicine has this ancient wisdom and sort of thing.
It does, goddammit.
It
can. Radio Tokyo brings up a very good point.
Radio Tokyo never has good points ever.
Well, hang on, wait.
He's half retarded, man.
This is pretty fun. It's like, are you suggesting that scorpion tails and squid beaks I shoved up my ass won't cure my asthma?
Probably your key points and so forth are also there. But I should say my general physician knew enough medicine. He actually was a UC Davis trained, MD with very high degrees of specialties in cardiology. Knew that acupuncture isn't going to go and cure my heart valve. Right? He had a smart thing. Yes, there are things that Chinese traditional medicine can do. Right, and it's a tool. But for the most part, the materials you get are the dosages are unregulated. The effectiveness actually cannot be proven, and worse than that, there's a bunch of Chinese medicine that actually is responsible for the substantial harm to species around the globe.
That I have heard. Yeah.
And there's a number of endangered species that may be wiped out because of Chinese medicine idiocy. So,
So you're not to buy penis.
yeah, it's that sort of thing. So that's another reason to hold that practice in contempt.
There's a person I'm actually subscribed to that discusses China a lot. Not want to like promote anybody.
I don't give a fuck.
But there is a guy, he has a YouTube channel called China Uncensored, and I'm subscribed to it, and I watch it every time he posts a video. And for those who want to learn about shit like this in regards to China, I highly recommend checking his channel out because he's very dedicated into making his own, if you will, news channel type feed that's not some type of Chinese propaganda so much as actually looking into what we know in regards of Chinese politics over here, and then doing what he can to help debunk, demonstrate what's being said to the public. Just check out China Uncensored. Sure. God damn it!
Sure, that's a good thing. It's been asked in the chat room an interesting question, which is, let me just sort of rephrase it to say, what do you think would happen if the U.S. changed its policy with regards to China and, for example, decided to, let's say, go far as to recognize Taiwan as a legitimate country, does kind of the opposite, which in Europe would sit there and saying, sticks its nose into Chinese business. What do you think would happen?
My question, I think Duterte would make the Philippines strike in the name of China before China does, because he's trying to make a deal with them, and he seems crazy enough at this point in time, since he's been killing his own people because they do drugs. Well, he's been prescribed fentanyl and is still taking it in high doses. It's been proven by his doctor, allegedly. I say that based off of watching secular talk, if that means anything, which actually is pretty good on his sources. I have looked into it.
I mean, yeah, but the impact. I think that it's been a fairly consistent policy of China, which is that China has a notion of what is China and what's not China. And unfortunately, the world tends to disagree with some of those bits of stuff. Like the Vietnam and China have a disagreement over where the traditional border of China is. People that are in the South China Sea have the disagreement over where Chinese waters are.
Yes.
And China itself has a disagreement over who and what is China. Now, before you sort of go and say, hey, Taiwan has a right, well, Taiwanese idiocy has, for example, a legislature and senators for the Chinese provinces in China. They elect, quote, senators for all of China. So both Taiwan and the mainland kind of pretend there's one China and they're the legitimate it, right? I think that the matter regarding Taiwan is an internal matter that China needs to resolve, not the rest of the world. And one of the complication problems that people forget in Taiwan is that there were people in Taiwan who didn't appreciate Chiang Kai-shek invading their island and taking it over, right? And so if you talk about rights in Taiwan, it gets a bit complicated. Now, of course, that's a long time ago. So at some point, it doesn't matter who did what when. It's now a matter of what do you do now? What is the advantage of the U.S. deciding to get involved in internal affairs in China? There's not much advantage. I don't see that it's in the U.S.'s best interest to be a part of resolving that. On the other hand, if China wishes to sort of enforce its sea lanes and say you can't sail over here, that's something I think that is a serious situation.
They were even talking about doing no flies in certain areas, I think, at one point in time, weren't they?
Yeah, I mean, it's true that China The government in Beijing and the government of Taiwan occasionally saber rattle for the purpose of domestic consumption, right?
Yeah.
And they play some very serious games. Let me just tell me an example what happened when I was a city council member in Sunnyvale, and I went to Xi'an, China, as part of a cultural and economic exchange there. While I was there, we were hobnobbing with the city people and doing the various sort of things that you do as in hosting. China does in hosting elected officials. One night I was woken up very, very late, 2, 3 in the morning. Chinese police came into my hotel room. And by the way, in China, that's not like they're bar breaking in. That's sort of considered to be normal. And in fact, as a foreigner, they wanted to protect me. And so occasionally Chinese police would come in just to make sure I'm okay and say, hey, you do anything, you need anything. So them showing up in my hotel room at 2 a.m. when I'm sleeping is not necessarily there. But the thing that was interesting was that they were very insistent. The guys didn't really speak much in the way of English, but they're very insistent I get up. And so I thought, well, so there's some problem going on there. There's maybe there's a fire or something. I didn't know what was going on. And at the end, they were very insistent that I take, my camera with me. Right? They wouldn't let me leave because I thought, okay, get dressed, get out of the hotel room because something's going on, right? And so they were very insistent I had to bring my camera. They wouldn't let me leave without my camera. So I led the camera. They took me down to a set of cars that the government people ride around in. And I had basically this police escort where they were driving off and saying, okay, something's going wrong and they want to get me out, or maybe something at national level where there's something. I didn't know what was going on. But we then stop and I'm told to get out and told to bring my camera, and I walk into what's a war zone, and there was substantial damage, body parts and other things going on in this sort of medical emergency thing. And they insisted I take pictures. What appeared to happen was, so appearance, I figured out, is that someone had bombed or shelled this place in the sort of city center area. And again, it was hard for me to tell how many people were dead and wounded, but there was definitely a bunch of life, and they were very insistent that I take pictures of this stuff. At some point, one of the officials from the mayor who spoke English came on the scene and explained what happened. There are when you go to the sea edge of Xi'an. Xi'an's a port city. It was a former in British colonial times. It was kind of a former embassy place. It's kind of a trade spot, a special economic zone. A little less known than some place like Hong Kong, but it's sort of like this international trade place. It's on the edge of the ocean. Very famous for its fish, by the way. And you can stand on the shore and look off to the horizon to see some islands. And those islands are occupied by forces loyal to Taiwan. And occasionally, mainland China and Taiwan, do sort of various things with each other. What I learned later happened was that the military that was on the islands just off the coast they occasionally do exercises of artillery shells, and that apparently suddenly somebody put in live ammunition rather than test shells, got the wrong shells, and for a period of time they were blasting shells into the city center and killing people. Now the People's Republic of China retaliated. It was not clear to me how they retaliated, and it certainly I couldn't see any evidence of how they were doing it. But they wanted to be very clear to saying in American, look at what these evil Taiwanese did. Now, I have a couple of pictures of the general buildings that had been sort of blasted, but for the purpose of all the suffering stuff they made me take pictures of, I've never released because I don't want to be part of the whole propaganda machine. By the way, propaganda doesn't mean it's false. It means that they were trying to get me to bring back the things to America to say, look how bad the Taiwanese are. As I understand later on, it was when I asked, on another visit, what might have happened. Apparently, Taiwan officially apologized and turned over the people responsible for the artillery practice and their families to People's Republic of China. One of the things that China sometimes does is they punish not only the wrongdoers but their families and people that associate with it. How they punish them, I don't know, but I am reminded that there is no offense so minor to which the Chinese death penalty can be, not be applied. And a comment. In fact, this was one of the things that the Xi'an mayor, when you were talking about the problems of traffic safety of pedestrians, mentioned that, if jaywalking gets to be really bad, we arrest somebody and execute them. And that has a dramatic impact in reducing pedestrians doing stupid things for a while. The phrase is, kill one to scare 1,000, right? That sort of thing. That's kind of Chinese justice. Now, I've heard similar things in Taiwan as well. Getting in the middle of that fight is probably not to our advantage. I think, again, it's an internal affair of China. I don't see that the U.S. benefits from that. I think that Chinese government would react extraordinarily negative to U.S. interfering within the internal affairs of China. Imagine, for example, the United States takes a stand on Northern Ireland. And no matter what the stand is, you could imagine the negative impact that's not going to help anyone. Imagine if the United States tried to take a stand on the status of Quebec, as an example, right? These are internal affairs, and I think it would be an extraordinary mistake for the U.S. to get involved. On the other hand, if China pulls this, we own the ocean around here, and people can't. That's not an internal affair. That's sort of like pushing your border out. I just hope that there will be saner people and cooler heads that will try to maintain a China policy.
Absolutely.
I don't know if that's a good response, but I think it would be a bad idea for the U.S. to try to get involved in internal affairs of China. They tend to get really cranky when you do that.
Yeah, I think it's a bad idea not to pay the clock, Chairman.
I agree.
I paid the clock.
Yes, Landon paid the clock and Sean paid the clock. Where are you motherfuckers at?
Yeah. Now, by the way, these kind of comments would be most likely considered by the Chinese government to be interfering in internal affairs of China. They would be able to take a damn view. And if I were in China saying these things as a foreigner, there would be some issues raised. I don't plan on going back to China anytime soon. So
I'm gonna go to Russia.
I mean, now's the best time to go, apparently, according to every news source. But every news source also said that one thing was going to happen during the presidency, and it didn't happen, did it?
Yeah,
yes.
I hope. Radio took us about free Quebec. The whole Quebec Canadian situation is another cluster F.
It's like I would say it's just like Texas trying to succeed from the union, except they actually have success in the government with it.
Well, it's kind of worse because in China, Canada's provincial system is not. Actually, the government system is not a strong federal government. The provinces territories have substantial, local power.
Mm-hmm.
One of the problems with the current system is that Quebec was given special status, and they have particular, rights to certain percentages within the national legislature that if you're doing stuff based upon population, they wouldn't have, right? And it is in the Canadian another. By the way, I think it's funny because if Americans knew more about Canada, you wouldn't have Americans when an election doesn't go the way they do saying, "Let me move to Canada." Right?
Stands for Quebec. Sorry.
Canada's got a bunch of interesting problems, not least which is the status of Quebec versus Newfoundland and Labrador, and the whole business of what the Canadian courts did in the major decisions in giving First Nations people the rights to determine their succession should Quebec be allowed to secede, right? It is Quebec is a significant problem. That one of the things that happens in elections in Canada is the Conservatives do a bunch of things where they particularly fairly bigoted, racist remarks that talk about the phrases vote for us so your children can speak white is one of the kind of the code words you'll hear, which essentially says, if you don't vote for us, we're the ones going to prevent them other people from enforcing, dual language literacy and special status for blah 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 stuff.
The French or Canadian French?
Yeah. And the other business, the problem is, it makes it even more, is the Bloc that they're talking about. Bloc is actually quite a wide spectrum of people. When I was a city council member, we had a visitation from the conservative wing of the Bloc that wanted to study the Sunnyvale system. The Sunnyvale government system is actually a fairly exceptional system that we're actually quite proud of. And we've had several U.S. presidents actually come to Sunnyvale and bring staff to tend to study our government system. So having a foreign delegation come in and want to study how we do things is nothing new. The problem when the Bloc came is this whole business of protocols. Normally, if, let's say, when we had people from New South Wales come to Sunnyvale to study our government system, what you do is you have your staff contact the Canadian consulate, or excuse me, the Australian consulate, because of New South Wales, right? And engage there to figure out what the protocol is and to make sure the government understands that this is happening, whatnot. So when the Bloc came, sent a request saying they want to come and visit and take our government classes and to understand how we operate within Sunnyvale. We had this problem of, if we had gone straight to the Canadian consulate and said the Bloc is coming, they would have wanted to send somebody to be there to counter what the Bloc was saying, and the Bloc would have gotten upset and not shown up because of all the Bloc representing the what they call the national parliament in Quebec was not going to be happy if we contacted Canadians, even though they're part of Canada. So what we ended up doing was, I had my staff ask a hypothetical question of the Canadian consulate. Would it be a problem if members from the Bloc claiming to be from the national parliament of Quebec show up? Would it be a problem if we immediately notified the Canadians? And it was a theoretical, and they came back theoretically and said, well, if they were to show up, we would want to be sure that the national policies of Canada are adhered to, and would want to be sure that if correct any
Make sure it's
misstatements
legal.
they might state on behalf of Canada, which might cause a problem.
Right.
On the other hand, we would be disappointed if they were treated as an independent country, because we would consider it interference in Canadian affairs, which was kind of code word for saying, yeah, it'd be a problem if you officially told us. But that meant that they knew, right? So then they showed up. We actually let them show up, and the way we ended up deciding it, because normally you then fly the flag. Like when people from New South Wales came, you had the Australian flag and the American flag, and there's a whole protocol over whose flag and what. There's a whole bunch of ceremony stuff because people get kind of twitchy about that sort of thing. In the case for the block, we did a clever thing. For the day, we took down the American flag, because it would be improper to have American flag and the provincial flag or the bloc party flag flying, because that would mean that you'd be recognized as equal countries. So we took down the American flag, and instead we went hockey, and we had a hockey team's logo from Quebec and the San Jose Sharks.
We literally
and we had Sharky show up, and we had the Canadian mascot show up, and we did this kind of this Canadian hockey thing as a deal. And somebody, I guess, no one objected, like, why isn't the American flag going? But it was kind of this hockey day thing, and they went and did their day of stuff there, and took the classes, and we answered questions about the set. And they were trying to, that the part of the delegation was trying to give counter some of the liberal wing of the Bloc's party, the PQ party, to try to give them a better economic system. So at the end of the day, our staff then rung up the Canadian consul and said, it appears due to a clerical error, we didn't tell you that they came, but we want to assure you that no national flags were flown. We did the hockey thing, stuff, because we didn't have any proper advice from you on protocol. And they said, that's not a problem. If we could send a delegation tomorrow and have them go through the same class, we'd at least understand. So the folks from national government sent some people over, and they went through the whole class. And at that point, we had the Canadian flag and the American flag and the anthems and all that sort of stuff go through. And at the end of the thing with the dinner, the counselor, not the ambassador, the embassy in Washington, asked me. He had a comment saying, "What is the gift amount that is the minimum gift amount that's required for you to declare as a gift?" Right? Because if I receive as a gift a thing like Chinese gave you this gold urn, that's a certain value. I have to give it to the city. And so anything over $75, I have to declare. And so they went out and got this really nice, Canadian Olympic tracksuit. It has Canada over, it's very, very Canadian, and a price tag that was like $74.50 as a thank you very much for not creating an issue, letting us know they came, but not letting us know to create a scene. So that was my a little bit of an issue there.
Basically, what you're saying is Jews are bad.
It's a problem. Of course, I thought it was funny that the conservatives, when running for election, were really big on promoting their defense of white Canada, and when they get into office, they gave Quebec even more substantial powers on the other side. I mean, they play the game on both sides. And at some point, I think that it's interesting that at some point people in Quebec got tired of the Bloc and kick their arses to the curb. Ended up with surprising NDP being substantial central percentage of the parliamentary thing of the NDP ended up being from Quebec. Of course, that's changed yet again.
Well, there you go. I think it's time to discuss Ingram's balls.
So
They are very red.
Oh God.
are they? I guess say are they? As the healthcare system protected them? Are they?
The wonderful healthcare system of Walmart and Gold Bond have taken care of my balls specifically, and luckily I didn't have to contact any insurance or medical insurance company or go to a doctor for it. You know how I found out? I used my head, and I don't mean my dick. I realized that whenever I do something to this area, it causes a stink, literally.
Yeah.
And then when I do this, and then do the thing, the stink is less, and then I clean afterwards. It's like it never happened. Oh my gosh. I highly recommend everyone try this. Trust me, you will get more head. Trust me.
Yeah. If your balls smell pretty good, you suck your dick better. Yeah.
They'll want to do it.
Yeah. If your balls stink, no blowjob.
No. That's the start of I don't know if I can fuck with this dude. His balls smell like that whole air. I ain't fucking with that. Like the second that happens is everything going like downhill, not in a good way.
Yeah. I'm sleepy as fuck.
You want to go to bed, bro? It is like tomorrow.
I'll go to bed here in a little bit.
At least
I need to see more clock payments.
Hello, clock payments.
So someone asked, "What's your in the council? How long in the council, and what was your primary daily issue with?" Well, one of the primary issues that I got on the council was to try to deal with the type of city that we were becoming. There was a group that wanted to push Sunnyvale to become a dense urban. That a greater Sunnyvale was substantially more urban, substantially greater population. Solving the jobs housing imbalance. And that was something I didn't have. I had a different view on there. There was more focused on what the citizens in Sunnyvale wanted, as opposed to the people who wanted to become citizens of Sunnyvale. I focused on a lot of stuff relating to the budget and trying to preserve the fiscal integrity of the city, particularly because of services, helping serve services such as the parks and the library and public safety. I ended up becoming fairly active on emergency services and emergency preparedness way back before it became kind of the issues became prominent. So I was involved with emergency preparedness with drills on things like earthquakes or other natural disasters. Ended up also getting involved with lots of infrastructural projects, such as putting in appropriate flood mitigation systems. That helped. So no, not Sunnyvale NS. Sunnyvale CA. So I ended up. But I ended up, when I left, I had an 83% approval rating. There were fewer laws on the books and more money in the reserve. So I thought it was relatively.
Brandon lives with Ricky and Jordan in Sunnyvale.
Yeah.
So I'm sleepy as a motherfucker. As soon as when I smoke this, I'm probably done.
Yeah.
Because I'm about to pass the fuck out.
So I wish Canada all the. Well, I wish also that Canada and the United States would treat each other better. Right?
Yeah.
We have a nice, friendly border, but we don't necessarily nice to each other in a number of aspects.
I hope Canada gets AIDS.
NAFTA was a really good way for internal groups within both countries to screw each other's citizens. Yeah. So, for example, NAFTA was supposed to hold this free trade, but just go to the state of Washington and try to find a wine from Canada. right? Just across the border, right? In the name of free trade, they made it even harder for Canadians to sell wine in the state of Washington. Look at what Canada does with some of the U.S. timber, right? Look at the games that they play. There's a whole bunch of, and they're still yelling at each other about the border between Canada and the United States. That's at the top of Alaska, heading towards there, and there's a whole bunch of yelling about the Northwest Passage and other things that I wish U.S. and Canada would sit there and say, "Hey, let's be friendly and resolve some of these issues."
Why can't we be friends?
Yeah. Now, that being said, U.S. and Canada's tit for tat is of the annoying cousin variety as opposed to what we do against countries like Cuba.
Yeah.
That's so we're relatively friendly towards each other, but still, I think we could be better off.
Yeah. I agree. I think Ingram.
Yo.
When are you gonna know about your decision?
Friday.
For why Friday?
Yeah.
Okay. That was an answer.
Well, yeah. I was thinking about Alberta with BC wine. That's another thing. Within Canada, there's also lots of interesting protectionism going on. Trade agreements between the U.S. and Canada typically involve lobbying, contributions to members of Parliament, members of Congress, and the citizens getting screwed. Of course, don't forget the fact that First Nations and people in Canada have their own laws, or sometimes enforce them through their own mandatory stuff. And don't forget the U.S. involvement in supplying some of those people with arms and ammunition, particularly when the U.S. was supplying weapons to terrorists in Northern Ireland via cross-border groups where First Nations people were running arms down the St. Lawrence River and over to Ireland. They kept a bunch of them. And occasionally when some First Nations people get kind of upset, they go and try to enforce their stuff with some fairly substantial armaments. Usually the Canadian Mounties sort of wait them out and go ahead prevail, but it sometimes involves some local yokos saying, let's go and put a tax on blah. And the First Nations people say, hey, but in our area, it's free, so come over our area and buy your gas free of that tax, or buy your whatever free of that tax. And then the local officials get upset and try to block access, and then the First Nations people get upset and push the issue and down the line. It's a joy. It's a big mess.
Big old pile of shit.
Yeah.
Lots of poop. Lots of poop.
You put it in the poopy.
So much poop.
Put the pooper in the poop.
Is that an Italian accent? I don't know. What
No, I was a redheaded Jew fucking idiot.
Okay. I do that a lot. I'm doing it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, Canada owns the Northwest Passage, but there are people in the U.S. State Department that I don't know where they are in the totem pole, would like to promote this notion that Canadian territorial waters won't extend out, let's say the 12-mile limit, and those gaps of those islands way far north are not necessarily part of Canada, right? There's people that actually go that far on the other side. Of course, the other problem is France sticking their nose into Canada. There's a part of France in North America that most people don't know. Quillan and Saint Pierre are actually real part of France, not some overseas territories, but they actually have they have representation in French Parliament. And France takes their 200-mile territorial fishing rights around France very seriously. And so U.S. and Canada can try to come to an agreement, and then the French fishing people go in and basically fishing troll the heck out of the areas around that spot, sell it to the U.S. and piss off Canada.
Well,
So that's another bit of stuff. You're talking about that's a trivia thing when you talk about how many countries are in North America. Most people miss France.
Sure. Oh yeah.
And so France and Canada have such a special relationship. Yeah. Yeah. By the way, most Americans don't know that for a period of time, the U.S. had a manifest destiny to the North Pole, and people such as Teddy Roosevelt, not Franklin, but the older one, Teddy Roosevelt, believed that the U.S., the middle prairie territories that were not really substantially stuff that had substantial American population, that basically the U.S. should take over and go to the north. Canada took a little dim view of that thing, and there's an interesting history of stuff that impacted the way that Manitoba and Saskatchewan, their history. But number of Americans are actually fairly ignorant of, at one point early on in the even as late as Teddy Roosevelt's administration, of U.S.'s interest in basically taking over stuff to the north.
Yeah.
We haven't been as nice to Canada as we probably should.
Fuck Canada, man. They're pieces of fucking shit.
They've been nice, kinda. Not really nice so much as unresponsive. And anytime that they do, when we ask them a question, they look at us like, yeah, fuck you.
Yeah.
Canada.
That's not how it is. I've actually wanted to visit.
America had the shits, and then Canada was involved. That's how Canada came about.
During the era of Prohibition, there was a substantial, interesting trade between, across places like Michigan and Chicago, and the mob scene there versus importing across was another interesting bit of. Yeah, and Canada,
they did.
That Canada burned the White House.
They did.
Actually, they were British troops, but
they were under British. Were they under British rule at the time?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, during the War of 1812, it was Britain running Canada. Canada was not an independent country.
I was there, goddammit.
Well, we kind of learned a little bit about that down in New Orleans, didn't we?
Yeah, there's a bit of stuff there, and of course, the whole burning Buffalo and burning Windsor, and that whole trading back and forth of burning each other's territory, and the U.S. going as far as places like Quebec City, and then that War of 1812 is something that most Americans have extraordinary ignorance over what happened.
Yeah,
I'm one of them, and what little I know, I've learned from the trip, and I still feel like there's so much more to learn from it.
I taught you a lot, didn't I?
Sure did.
Yeah, it was. I know that to say I've had really good dealings with the Canadian government. There was a time, by the way, one of the thanks of that I got from the handling the whole block affair, where I was leaving Canada during a time where there was some sort of American scare, right? The U.S. It was post 9/11 thing. And there was a big problem in getting through security, and a bunch of other weirdness happening, wacky happenings where they were.
How immediate was it after 9/11? It might have been pretty close. I would. It
was, I think, about 5 months after the great crime of 2000.
Which I'm not aware of either, actually.
Well, I mean, that's
I'm
talking about what Canada did as a crime, as opposed to this naturally. But anyway, so it was during the time of a pretty heightened hysteria, and there were problems of getting stuff through security, right? Because the U.S. sort of enforces some of its border stuff in Canada. There's bits of stuff to get into the U.S. You have to go in Canada. You have to go through basically U.S. customs things there, and to come to this special zone. And there's a bunch of weird things happening where they were saying things like you couldn't. One of the things was that you couldn't take cameras through security because you might take a picture which could be used by the evildoers to do things.
Yeah.
And another one was that you were not allowed to have batteries in your laptop.
What?
There. Another bit was that you
can have a laptop
because I guess that would be you could do bad things with the battery. And another one was
9/11, post 9/11. Yeah, you're right.
That you could not have retractable ballpoint pens. You had to have
Yes, I remember that.
Right.
I
So
remember-
there's a bunch of and so people who needed to fill out the forms, a bunch of problems. So
Whoa, motherfucker!
I was having a problem with even getting, on a trip, let alone getting through the security, let alone dealing with this problem of what are you going to do with my camera and the battery laptops and whatnot. So I made a call to one of the friendlies, people that they're in Ottawa, who made a call to local people in the airport, who met me and said, let's put your stuff in this nice little bag pouch, walked me to security, and said, we appreciate your help, sir, and please come back and enjoy your visit to Canada again.
Right on.
So I basically got paid back. They rewarded me very well.
So with that being said, Radio Tokyo actually mentioned an interesting tidbit that he thinks that
Make it quick.
Johnny Horton grew up in the same hometown as his mom, their mom, and lived down the street from his grandmother's house. One day he was visiting and he was bouncing his infant mother on his knee while he sat at the kitchen table, and she peed on him.
I mean, because I assume you're referring to you're there's also the famous Tim Horton there and people who's while a hockey player is actually known for a number of business deals, including Tim Hortons.
The Java place.
The singer. Radio Tokyo says the singer.
Yeah, but that's another. I realize they're not related, but that's a different story about.
Yeah. Well, guys, it's been interesting, but I'm about to fall out over here. I'm sleepy as a motherfucker. So I think I'm going to go ahead and end this tonight.
Well, thank you for having me.
Shut up. Ain't gonna, God damn it. I was trying to thank people, motherfucker. The fuck is wrong with you? Anyways, Landon, thanks for the great conversation.
It won't happen again.
You motherfucker. Man, seriously, thank you, Landon. It was a good convo.
You're welcome kindly.
A lot of good information there. So sink it in, people. Take it in.
I apologize for those people that I offended. I'm sure I offended some people.
Fuck them. Who gives a fuck if they got offended? The faggot ass bitches.
I apologize for the errors. I know that I committed some errors in my
you perfect, man. Goddamn, you
so.
never make a mistake. But seriously, Ingram's a faggot. And really good show. Thank you for the discussion. Shut up, kissing.
That was me that was saying that.
I know.
And I hope that we have a much more productive dialogue about healthcare in the U.S. I hope that we have a much better trade relationship across the border. I think the U.S. and Canada can benefit each other and not screw each other over. I wish the Brits all the best with their current unelected Prime Minister, Brexit problem, Scotland problem, Wales problem, Northern Ireland problem. And
they got a lot of problems, Lanny. Goddamn.
Yeah, and of course, go Australia. Go visit Australia. It's an amazing place, worth seeing.
Red eyes there, so it makes it suck. If Red Eye would move, I'd be all right. But seriously, guys, thank you all for watching. Appreciate it very much. Remember, Patreon. Check your Patreon. And also clock payments. If you want to pay the clock, go to PayPal. The link's in the description below. Patreon links in the description below as well. We appreciate it.
And just to be equal opportunity and make pissing people off, I look forward to the day when Scotland is free of Westminster.
Yeah. Nobody wants to come on your goddamn show, Radio Tokyo. Get the fuck up.
You have a show? Radio Tokyo has a show?
It's horrible. No, I'm joking. Radio's good.
He doesn't post.
I must admit, Radio Tokyo, that whenever I see your name, I think about Tokyo Rose. another radio personality from Tokyo. So I assume there's no relationship, but that's another.
I would love to talk politics.
Thank you, Risen Girl.
On your show. Send me a link, radio.
Yeah.
You just want to, nobody wants to talk to you. That's why you go find somebody.
Sure,
You're
radio.
right.
Send me a link sometime, radio, and
Yeah.
No, Landon, you're not allowed.
Oh, okay. And I'll get Pet Monk's permission.
Yeah.
And if he gives you permission, then.
If I
And-
give him permission.
And I wish Wales is able to maintain their cultural identity in the face of the English hegemony, and I hope that the people of England are able to have their rights not trampled over by special status from Northern Ireland, Wales, and Scotland. So
Okay.
good luck.
Yeah, good luck. Fuck y'all. I don't give a fuck about any of them goddamn countries. I hope they all burn to the ground. No, but Landon made a lot of sense. Healthcare does need to be fixed in this country. That's a fact.
It's a right.
It's a right, not a privilege. Exactly. So, anyways, guys, love you. Thank you. Thank you two guys. Thank Larry for joining us earlier. And we'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.